welcome to my soapy kitchen. Today I'm going to try to create something new. We've had a lot of people request bubble wands made with bicarb. Now the problem with bubble wands made with bicarb is it doesn't have the same binding ability that the sodium carbonate is. Sodium bicarbonate just doesn't do that when you just mix it and put it on a stick. It just doesn't do that. We have used the glutenous rice flour before. I'm using this instead of cornstarch because I like how the rice flour feels on my skin. So we're going to use some bicarb, we're going to use some SLSA, we're going to use some glutenous rice flour, and another ingredient that you probably have on hand is cocomidopropyl betaine, or also it's also called as amphisol surfactant. So we're going to use two different surfactants, both of which, if you make bath bombs, you should have on hand, which is why I formulated this one. Now this is a little different than my other recipes. This one is actually cooked. So our starch is going to provide the binding rather than the sodium carbonate. All right. So hopefully this will be reusable. You're going to watch a new product being developed right here, right now. The only ingredient that I need to play with a little more are my activators. So whether or not I need to use water or not, we shall see. We shall see. So maybe the surfactant will give me the looseness that we need so that it dries faster, but we may have to add water. We shall see. All right, so let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and measure out into this big container all of my ingredients. Now, since I am approaching 3,000, thank you guys for sticking with me. On my YouTube channel, I will be giving away one of these recipes for free for you. So let me know if you want this recipe down below. It is also being released into my Etsy store as we speak. So if this video is up, it is available for sale. But if you want to get on the draw, then feel free to get in on the draw. Now, if you've already purchased my bubble wand collection, I'm not going to charge you for this because this is part of the bubble wand series. So let's start out with this ingredient here. So we're going to add some of that. Now, if this isn't enough, then I'll add more if we need it for X factor bubbling. So this is the next one. Okay. And then the very last is my starch. And this is a very important one. So there we go, my starch. Now we're going to add the secondary surfactant next. And we'll see if it's enough to create that binding that we need, or whether or not we need to add water. Now this does have water in it. Generally speaking, most surfactants that are liquid like this have a small percentage that's solid and a small percentage that's liquid. And I think we're going to need more. So I'm going to double that. We want lots of bubbles, so that's okay. Just wanted to see what my original idea was. We will double that. And I may have to add water. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Let's see if this is going to give us enough water to make our dough. Now, this alone probably won't make a very good bubble wand. Certainly not a reusable bubble wand. What we need to do next is we need to add heat. We need to activate that starch so that it can create a nice dough. I mean, it's like like icing right now. But that's not good enough. We want to heat it to the point. Now make sure it's mixed really well. And I'll bring you back after each minute in the microwave so you can see how this changes. All right, so as this is it after 1 minute. Now as we heat this up, we are fundamentally changing this compound mixture. Just like soap, which has heat and friction added, this is going to change as we mix it. Now, I may not have needed that much SLSA, but why not make it awesome since I got all the extra ingredients. Now, I'm going to microwave this again, and we'll see how it changes after the next heat up. Not a lot of difference, but there is a little bit. Bring you right back. All right, check this out. It's all light and fluffy and wiggly jiggly. We've changed again. Each minute we're going to see a difference as we heat it. Now you need to mix it really well. This is a process that can be done on the stove top, but we're going to do it in the microwave because it's easy. Now I'm going to switch to a spatula now. Because as this heats up, it's going to get thicker. But I want to make sure I mush and get an even heat all the way through this. Because as you know, microwaves have hot spots. And I don't want this one to get any hot spots or get burned or have anything strange going on here. Alrighty. Okay. That looks really great. I'm gonna make sure I get it all off the edges. Now I know that this has gone beyond the boiling point of this mixture, so we're going to do this for 2 more minutes and see where we're at. I don't want it to get too hot because I don't want to scorch it, and scorching things happens in the microwave, right? All right, so you absolutely cannot just walk away from this. You have to watch it in your microwave because it's like it's going through, see how light and fluffy that is? It's like it's going through a stage, like hot processed soap. It's like it's volcanoing. So it will volcano up and out of there if you leave it. Now, the part of this is the surfactants and the heat process we're giving it to activate that starch. All right. Oh, I love this. It's getting to the point where it's looking like a dough. So the next couple of, I'm going to just stir this for about 10 minutes. And if as it cools, it's the right texture to start making things with, then we'll go ahead and create. But what I'm going to do, yeah, this is looking great, is instead of heating it for a minute, I'm only going to give it 30-second bursts. We're going to treat this like chocolate. We're going to be very, very careful with it because we don't want it to burn. And anybody who knows how expensive Zendits can be, you do not want to just be playing around and ruin it. So your microwave is going to have different settings. All right, so what you're going to have to do is it'll either be more or less depending on how strong your microwave is compared to mine. So if you're worried, if you've got a very, very powerful microwave, that mine is like a mid-range just for soap making. Actually, it was a household one, but we got another one, so so it's an old one is what I'm saying, and it's not, you know, terribly powerful. If yours is, and this really isn't a project that you can do in a microwave that you're going to be eating in. So my microwave is just like my stove that I dry my bath bombs in, is just for making soap and bath bombs and that kind of thing. That's the choice that I made. If you don't have a microwave just for making soap, then maybe do this over the stove. Just constant stirring, and if you're worried about scorching, do it in a hot water bath. That way you'll have a slower... Oh, this is doing exactly what I wanted to. All right. So we've had 2 or 3 minutes. I think it was 3 minutes tops. I am going to do this. See how it's coming into like a dough? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. So I'm going to microwave this one more time. And while it's nice and fluffy, I'm actually going to use my hand blender on it, just in case some of those starches heated in pockets. It doesn't look like that's what it's done, but just to make sure that hasn't happened, I'm going to go ahead and give it a burr while it's nice and light and fluffy. So I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, while we're waiting for that to heat up, I just want to show you the bubbles we're getting so far as I wash my hands. Whether or not that translates to lots of bubbles in the bath, we shall see. All right, so it is a little light and fluffy. Not great light and fluffy, but we're just going to give it a little burr. All right, that looks good. All right, and we've got the nice dough. Got a really great bubble dough. It's not sticking to me anymore. It's really, really nice. I'm gonna let this cool and we'll see if this dough is nice enough to be, one, a bubble dough, and then if it dries really nice, two, a bubble wand, which is what I'm kind of hoping that it's my magical solution for bubble wands with bicarb. So that's what we're trying to do here. So I'm just gonna cover this up, and actually I'm actually not gonna cover that up. I'm going to put it in a bag. I'm gonna put this in a bag, and I'm gonna divide it into a few pieces. All right, before I do that, I need you to cool down. But I don't want you to dry out too quickly, so we're gonna cover you in saran wrap until you're cold, because I don't want you to dry out. That airspace, I don't like it, so we're gonna get rid of it. There we go. I'll set that there, clean this up, and come back in a few minutes. All right, let's have some fun with this soap dough and see what we can create. I've got my star, so I'm going to see first if I can make this a lovely red color. I need some red, white, and yellow. All right, and the rest we'll put aside for a different bubble wand. So it looks like you can get probably 3 bubble wands out of each of this. I might actually get 2. We'll see. But it's got a really nice texture. Now, whether or not it's going to be stiff enough to mold with, we shall see. So let's, excuse me. So let's get our colorants added. Now I'm going to use a dry colorant this time because I got some gold there, so I may as well put that in the gold one. That'll be for my stars. We'll set these aside. See if we have time to do the rest. There's a little bit of gold there. I've got some gold leakage, so we're going to try to make a gold one. I'll probably have to add, definitely have to add some yellow to this, which we will totally do. I've got some iron oxide there, but because I like a color wand to have a nice show in the bath, we need some blue too, don't we? This with some blue. Yeah. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to get some of my water dispersible dye and put that in. I got everything. So this is an FD&C Lake number 5. And I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Well, a lot. And I always put my big colorants like this because they make such a big mess in the sink when I'm done, and that way if I need to I can rinse them off. Now I think I made a good choice when I decided to make this a little softer. You can definitely cook it a little longer and make it more firm. I'm guessing, but I haven't tried. You can also add ooh, I think I want marbled flowers. I don't want other things in there. Marbled stars. So we're not going to mix it completely. So let's get, you need to mix it pretty good. All right, let's see what we get here. Do one bit at a time. I got some green there. Where am I getting all these other colors from? As I touched them, got them ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get that started. And do this as slow as we can because we want it nice and straight. And I'm going to be making quite a few of them, but I'm not going to make 50. All right, that looks like it's going to dry nicely, so I'm not going to move that. That's awesome sauce. But I am going to take this last little bit and see if I can make a few more because I don't want to waste any of this bubble dough. Just so you know, about this much bubble dough gave me a huge full bath. That was basically what was on my bowl when I finished making the dough the other day. And I was really impressed. Of course, if you want those kind of bubbles, like any bubble bath, you need a jet tub. Sorry, it is soft water and jet tub, or it's not going to quite be what you're thinking. So I'm just going to let these dry for a couple of hours, just so they're a little less squishy, because this is an air dry dough. and I'm really excited about this. So I'm just going to save my leftovers once again for a bath later to test it out. It was just, oh golly, it was brilliant, guys. I'm just telling you, these surfactants are great. These syndettes are great. Whether or not it's going to hold up to be reusable, we shall see. But it seemed to be really concentrated, so that's part of the way that it becomes reusable, because it needs to be super bubbly, right? All right, so I'm going to clean up this mess, and we're going to start on the red. Okay, it stopped recording. So here's the white. And I am not going to put any fragrance oil in the white one because I don't want it to discolor. I want it to stay nice and white. And I just have titanium dioxide here, and I have to do a little bit of clay play before I get my design down. But this is how I made my colors. And this is going to be really, really pretty in the bath because it's color wand and it's also bubbles. So even if you don't have a jet tub, this is going to be a gorgeous color bath for you. Now, these are available in my store. They are by custom order only. Because Etsy is forcing us to include shipping in our prices, know that it will reflect that. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. All right, so I will be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to put this into a plastic bag. I'll be right back. Okay, so the fragrance I've decided to use is Aztec's Avo Bath Lush Type. I've had a hankering for some Avo Bath, so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to go ahead and work this into everything but the yellow and the white. Now, this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to bring this all together. I'm going to be using a caning technique. So I'm going to put half of it in here. And I'm going to try, oh, we're going to stick it up over here. I'm just going to try not to get it anywhere but in my dough. All right, that changed the texture of our dough considerably. Isn't that gorgeous? Instead of being sticky, now the oil made it not sticky. Now I'm using the Lush Avo Bath because I'm kind of upset with Lush right now. They quit making the Avo Bath solid body wash, and that was my favorite. They always do that to me. They always discontinue my favorite products. Ah, well. All right, so we're gonna see if I can do a better job this time with the rest of it. Oops, of course not. When I roll it, the design's actually going to be rolled like a cane. When I roll it, all that additional runoff is going to be worked into the design. So like I said before, I'm going to go with a cake pop style reusable bath wand. So we're getting a little red in there, but that's okay. soap dough. That's gonna be pretty. Okay, so I just tried out the zinc. This is why I don't buy zinc for colorant. Took a lot of it and it didn't really color it very well. So, go back to titanium dioxide. And we're going to add our fragrance. And I'm using an oil dispersible, so this will be just fine. Now here's my measure. Okay. Let's see what happens now. See the difference? Yeah. Zinc's got some great properties to it, but whitening up different types of soap, not so great. Titanium dioxide, on the other hand, is da bomb. This will also give the water kind of a creamy, pretty color too. Oh, that smells amazing. If you like citrusy scents, Ava Bath is really, really good. Alrighty, let's just wrap this baby up till we're ready to do another design. Come back in a little bit. Just wanted to show you how I got the rounder shape here. Basically took bath bomb and squeezed it. This one wasn't quite round enough, so I thought I'd do it again. It's still fairly soft. I did them last night. just trim this baby. So I want my cake pops to be round. So we'll get rid of that satin ring. Alrighty. Alright, so that's that for now. And as always, keeping my scraps. Now I left this one out overnight just to see what would happen as it dried. So let's make this one green. Give ourselves another color. Oh, that's pretty cool. So if you do want to use this as a bubble dough, you can. Let's just put all that in there. Not the red bits, but the yellow ones. And it is actually, the small bits are pretty hard. So it is going to get hard on us. Let's see. No, let's see. Whoop! Threw it across the room. You can see where it's dry and it's not rolling out real great. I'm guessing if I put it in the bag, I should be able to get that smooth again, but we'll see. Let's test this theory of mine out. Yeah, it's already working it just fine. Okay. There we go. Not much there for a bath, but we shall see. I gotta test the exactly how much of the soap is necessary for a nice bubble bath. It's so bubbly, guys. Lots and lots of bubbles, and that's just the outside. Alrighty, so I've got to go make a bunch of soap because I have a big order, but this was a fun thing to do, and this of course is a small custom order, so these will be going out to some very special people soon. Alrighty, bye for now. Alright, so we got bubbles in the bowl. I don't know if that's going to translate to big bubble bath, but I will find out later tonight when I throw the jets on.